Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over. On this podcast, we talk about everything from dating and relationships to personal development. We also speak very candidly about the F word, and by that, I mean failure. So grab a pen, tag a friend, and let's talk about it. All of it. Undergoing, overcoming, and simply trying to make it through. Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over podcast, and I'm your host, Kayla. If you are just listening for the first time, hello and welcome to my platform. I am so glad you're here. And as always, if you are a returning listener, hey sis, what is up? I am so excited about today's episode. We are going to dive into 3 things that every girl should know. Over the last 3.5 years or so, I have been on a transformational journey to become the healthiest, happiest, best version of myself that I have ever been. And if I had known these 3 things, better yet, if I had understood these 3 things when I started this journey, it would have made the transformation so much smoother. So when you know better, you do better, and you pass it on. I am going to give you these things collectively, and hopefully you can stick it in your pocket and it will help you on your way. So let's dive right into it. For starters, you need to know that when you heal, you are going to lose some friends. That's because most relationships are built on common interests, common experiences, common enemies, and really good times. And when you start a healing journey or a development journey, you tend to start behaviors or distancing yourself from behaviors that brought you close to other people in the beginning. So maybe you're not partying every single weekend, or maybe you're not wanting to have conversations where you preservate on whatever makes you sad, and you're not bonding over the things that kept you bound. And that means you start separating from people that you considered your friend. Please make a mental note that the people that you lose in your healing process were only meant to be with the unhealed version of you. I know nobody wants to hear it, but sis, everybody can't go. When you elevate, everybody can't go. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about how plants, sometimes you have to purge the plant. You have to pull off all the dead parts and all the dead leaves in order for it to thrive, or it will drain the life from the plant. Even snakes shed their skin. And in order to thrive, there are going to be some people that you have to purge. There's some groups of people that you're going to have to shed in order to get to the next version of yourself. Don't forget that. Number 2, having access to people who have more resources or who are further along than you is not a threat. It's a blessing. It is a blessing to be surrounded by people who are further along, who know more, who have access to more than you have. And I know that in those instances, it is so easy to sink, to feel intimidated, to feel like I'm not good enough. Do they like me? Should I be here? But the reality is, when you sit with warriors, when you sit with champions, the conversation is different. Surrounding yourself with people who are further along, who have more resources, who have more access. When you do these things, you are literally helping yourself to lay out the blueprint for where you want to go. And I know you're thinking, well, Kayla, sometimes people don't want to share that information. You're right. There are books, there are documentaries, there are movies. There is so much knowledge on the World Wide Web. Tony Robbins says that success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. So picture who you want to be, where you want to be 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, from now, and then who is there? That is who you need to be surrounding yourself with. It's not a threat. It's a blessing. And number 3, you often have to do a series of really unenjoyable or undesirable things in order to live the life of your dreams. Whatever it is that you want that's in the future, there is going to be a series of things that you don't want to do in order to get there. I.e., if you want to lose a certain amount of weight, nobody wants to be hitting the alarm clock at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. But guess what? That is one of the steps that you need to take. Maybe meal planning really sucks. And you're like, I don't want to do that every day. But guess what? It takes the guesswork out of what you're going to eat. And it's one of those steps that you can take to help you get further on your journey. Perhaps you don't want to stay up late at night, doing the drafting for the book you want to write. However, doing that work, staying up late, doing the extra mile, that is what's going to get you where you want to go. I understand firsthand as someone who works in corporate America, and then I come home and I do my podcast and my coaching business and like all the things that I do. And sometimes I feel like, Kayla, you just don't have it in you. And you know what? Feet to the pavement. I keep going anyway, because the labor that I do right now is going to pay off in the long run. We have to do what we have to do so that we get to do what we want to do. Learning these 3 lessons, putting them in your pocket, ingraining it in your brain is going to take you so far. And I cannot wait to see how you use them in your transformation. I love you, girl, and we'll chat in the next one. Well, gorgeous girl, that's a wrap for this episode. I hope you found value, insight, or strength. I hope something was said that gave you the courage to push on a little while longer toward the life of your dreams. If you felt motivated during this segment, screenshot this and throw it in your stories and tag me on social. That way we can keep the message going. Have an excellent day on purpose, and we, girl, will talk in the next one.